Hello, all. This is Scott calling, letting you guys know that this is going to be my very first podcast from the group Entertainment Circle. What this podcast is going to consist of is entertainment, music, movies, video games, and the occasional wrestling pay per view. You can comment on anything that I put up. If anything you don't like, you can always let me know. This podcast is gonna be posted later on tonight. Um, the podcast that I'm gonna be talking about today will be about um, this Sunday's Wrestlemania. It's a big event. Everybody's gonna be talking about it, so I'm gonna be breaking down all the matches, my predictions, what I like about what's going on with these matches. So feel free to comment at any point and let me know what you think. The first match I want to talk about is the pre-show match that everybody's going to be able to watch either on YouTube, Facebook, or the WWE app. It's going to be for the Intercontinental title against The Miz and Wade Barrett. Wade Barrett being the Intercontinental title championship holder, he's going to be facing a washed-up wannabe reality star known as The Miz. Now, The Miz really hasn't done much since he was world champ, but now that he's a babyface and the fans are starting to like him, he's losing a little bit of his edge. So, and Wade Barrett, is a tough guy from England. He's a bare knuckle fighter. He's a champ. He knows what it takes to win. I do believe that at the end of this match, which everybody will get a chance to see before the actual pay-per-view itself, I do believe Wade Barrett will actually pull this match out and retain the Intercontinental title. Now, throughout the this little podcast, I'm going to be talking about matches that I think are kind of going to be a complete waste. Because they do have to fill the card up with matches, and I do believe that this one will probably be one of the worst matches of the night, and I think a lot of people out there will agree with me, and that is the tag team title match between Team Hell No against Dolph Ziggler and Big E Langston. Daniel Bryan, he's just an annoying little gnome that nobody really cares about. He's just annoying, and he's needs to keep his mouth shut and just do what he does best, and that's wrestle in the ring. Kane, on the other hand, he has gone soft, and the fact is, he that he once was, has become a fan favorite. He's not as feared as he once was, so that's going to be hopefully a big. The other half, the challengers, you got a guy like Biggie Langston who's never proved himself in a ring yet. So that's going to be a big rookie mistake on his part, not really getting involved in any matches except for the fact that he actually jumps people from behind after matches. That doesn't really show your wrestling skills. And Dolph Ziggler, who's still holding on to his Money in the Bank contract, he might cash it in on Sunday. We don't know. But he was once known as a member of the Spirit Squad back in the '90s, so now he's here in the WWE as Dolph Ziggler. If I had to pick a winner in this one, I would probably have to go with the challengers and say that we will have a new tag team champions. Another match that kind of looks like it's going to be nothing but the testosterone, and it's going to be another wasted filler match. I'm talking about Mark Henry and Ryback. Ryback is a young rookie. He's got a lot of power. He knows what he's doing when he gets in that ring. Fans fear him. Same goes with Mark Henry. But you got two guys, with a lot of power. You got close to 600-700 pounds that are going to be in that ring at the same time, going head to head, in a big grudge match. But if I had to pick a winner, I probably would go with the veteran Mark Henry, just for the simple fact that he has a lot more ring experience than Ryback does. The next match I want to talk about is probably a match that's going to be kind of interesting. Is the six-man tag match between The Shield and Big Show, Sheamus, and Randy Orton. This is an interesting match. I do like the Shield, and I do like the other guys. I'm not a big fan of the Big Show, but me being Irish, I do like Sheamus, and I have a lot of respect for Randy Orton. But if I had to, this is going to be a match that's been going back and forth over the last couple of weeks and even a couple of months. The Shield is this new entity, which is kind of like a cross between the NWO and the Four Horsemen. But in the end, I do believe the Shield will pull it out, and I do believe that the weak link of that team again will be Sheamus. So I am going with the Shield in this particular match. The next match is for the World Heavyweight title that I want to talk about, and that's going to be between Alberto Del Rio and Jack Swagger. I do happen to like Alberto Del Rio. I liked him when he was a villain, and I do like him now when he was a babyface. He's a very talented kid, a guy from Mexico. He knows what he's doing. He has a great submission hold. Jack Swagger, not so much. I didn't really like him when he was there the first time, and when he came back from his injury. He brings this stupid moron in with him, and trying to, have another political guy in the WWE, which we really don't need. But in the end, as good as Jack Swagger is, I think Alberto Del Rio is going to beat him out on that one, and Alberto will retain the title. Now, another match that a lot of people are not really talking about because they really can't say much about his opponent, but it's the Fandango Chris Jericho match. Chris Jericho, first undisputed champion. Well, let's rephrase that because technically he was not really the first undisputed champion. If everybody remembers WrestleMania 4, when the WWE title was up for grabs in that tournament, Randy Savage became the first undisputed championship because if you watch that match, and at the end of that match, you would hear the color commentary saying that Randy Savage became the first undisputed champion, so they need to fix that in the record books. But Chris Jericho and Fandango, it's going to be an interesting matchup, but even though Fandango hasn't really wrestled yet, it's going to be very hard to choose. But if I had to pick a winner in that one, I would go with Fandango just for the simple fact that I think once he finally gets in the ring and wrestles, he's probably going to surprise a lot of people with his talent. The next match I want to talk about is the match that I'm waiting for, and that's Triple H and Brock Lesnar. I've always been a fan of Triple H, even when he first came in, when he was known as the Hunter Hearst Helmsley. I've always been a fan of his, DX and everybody and everything else. Never been a fan of Brock Lesnar. I didn't like him when he was there the first time, and I sure as hell don't like him now. To go along with, I don't care for Paul Heyman. I think he's nothing but a stupid scumbag, and I've never liked him. The only time I had any respect for Paul Heyman was back in the early days of ECW. Since then, he hasn't done nothing. He's been nothing but a whining little bitch. So, I do believe that Triple H will take this as a personal match, which it is. He's definitely going to go full throttle. It's good to see the old Triple H back, and Shawn Michaels will be in Triple H's corner, which is even better. And I do believe that in the end, Triple H will defeat Brock Lesnar and he will keep his wrestling career. There was another match that's supposedly a mixed tag match, but I don't know if they scratched it from the card. It's supposed to be the primetime players with... actually, no, not the primetime players. It's supposed to be Rhodes Scholars and the Bellas against... the team of the Pterodactyls with Albert is what he normally knows now. He's known as Tensai, and his partner, whatever the hell his name is, I don't remember, nor do I care. I really don't care about that team. If I'm going to pick a team to pick and win in that particular matchup, if that match is still on the card, I'm going to go with the Team Rome Scholars and the Bella Twins, because I do happen to like the Bella Twins. And I think that is actually going to be a match that nobody's really going to care about. But if it's still on the card, I do like to see, I think the Team Rome Scholars and the Bella Twins will pull that match out. The next match I want to talk about is the match that I'm waiting for, and that's the Undertaker and CM Punk match. CM Punk at this point is actually doing everything in his power to try to weaken The Undertaker, try to take the urn, and use every advantage he can. But in the end, it's actually not going to work due to the simple fact that I do believe that in the end, The Undertaker will remain undefeated at WrestleMania. Undertaker did come close of losing that streak a few times against Triple H and Shawn Michaels, but in my honest opinion, CM Punk does not have what it takes to defeat The Undertaker at WrestleMania. And the final match I want to bring up will be the WWE title match between The Rock and John Cena. Now, as far as athletes go, I kind of respect The Rock more than John Cena. John Cena has just become a little bit more of annoying and a little bit predictable. Whereas, The Rock has been gone for a long period of time. He beat CM Punk to become the champ, and this is really his first real big test. And a better way to do it than on the grandest stage of them all, WrestleMania. And I do have a feeling that it's going to end the exact same way that it ended last year with The Rock defeating John Cena at WrestleMania. And I do believe that at some point, Dolph Ziggler will probably cash in his contract at WrestleMania, either against Alberto Del Rio or the winner of the Rock Cena match. And I do believe that a title will change hands in one of those matches. So, if you liked what I heard, what you heard or what I said, is there anything you didn't like, please let me know. You can comment on anything and everything. I like to hear the feedback. So in the very end, hope you enjoyed this podcast, and hopefully next week I'll have a brand new one for you, and it'll probably be on a different topic. So until then, see you around.